विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यभिमः योगीव यस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ Verse 74 तत्तमस्यादिवाक्येषु लक्षणाभागलक्षणा सोऽयमित्यादिवाक्यस्थ पदयोरिव नापरा. So in these verses, beginning from verse 70 to verse 96, Vidyaranya is doing a small Mahavakya Vichara, so based on a Vakyavritti, Grantha of a Shankaracharya ji. And to show that Mahavakya Vichara, of course, it generates Aparoksha Jnanam. And he quoted Vakyavrittis, the shlokas 44, 45, 46. Then he skipped 47. And then, he quoted verse 48 in this verse 74, which we are seeing right now. And, here it says, you can't take primary meaning of this Tat and Tvam in Mahavakya. And, if you take a primary meaning, it can't be fitting well. Jiva cannot be Ishvara, Jiva cannot be, and therefore Ishvara cannot be Jiva, and therefore this cannot be equated. Mahavakya will not be possible. But Mahavakya is given in the Upanishad. Upanishad is a Pramanam. So every Vakya is valid. So then if you don't see the validity of this equation of Jiva and Ishvara, then you cannot say that this is a redundant Vakya, right? So it is not an invalid. We have to see the validity. So you have to cross the primary meaning. And always the secondary meaning is connected to the primary meaning. So Vachyartha Sambandhi Lakshana, this is how they define. Lakshana is always Vachyartha Sambandhi. It is always connected. Like when I utter a word pot in a sentence, in a particular context, pot is Satyam. When I say, suppose, when I say pot is Satyam, then you don't take that name and form pot, right? Instead you take clay, but that clay is related to the pot. So meaning of the pot is that name and form, of course, that's true. But connected to that is this clay only, right? So Vachyartha Sambandhi Lakshana. So you have understood a word pot. You have taken the secondary meaning of the word pot here, not a primary meaning with a certain form. Because the sentence I utter is pot is Satyam. If you take a primary meaning, then the name and form is Satyam. But it is not Satyam, The very existence of the name and form is this due to clay. Therefore, clay alone is a Satyam. Anyway, so this is how Vachyartha Sambandhi Lakshana. Anyway, so this here also, this Tat and Tvam, the primary meaning we cannot take. And primary meaning we know, Jivan is Jiva. Jiva means what? Basically, Shariratraya Sambandhi, Chaitanya. or a Shariratraya Vishishta Chaitanyam. And Prapanchatraya Vishishta Chaitanyam will be Ishvara. So basically you remove a part of it. You can't throw everything in that. And that's how in a secondary meaning, or there are three types of secondary meanings. Out of that we take one type of secondary meaning. The one secondary meaning means in which you totally give up the primary meaning. Second type of a secondary meaning in which you don't give up the primary meaning. You add some other meaning in order to make it a secondary meaning. And the third one is basically, you remove a part of the primary meaning. So, we have taken that, we have seen also Bhaga Lakshana, we said Bhagatyaga Lakshana. So, part of the primary meaning has been given up, and what is to be given up, that also we know, because if Sharitraya Vishishta Chaitanyam, so Shariratrayam should be removed. Sharitraya Vishishta Chaitanyam is a Jiva, it's a primary meaning, total meaning. But then you remove a part of it, and that is Shariratrayam you remove, don't remove Chaitanyam. You cannot remove Chaitanyam also, which is Satyam, not available for any negation. And therefore, what is Mithya should be removed. And that is how. And here also, Prapanchatraya Vishishta Chaitanyam. There also you remove Prapanchatraya, because again that is Mithya. And therefore, Chaitanyam alone is Avashishta, remains. Then we can definitely equate with this secondary meaning. So this is how he says here, Tattvamasyadi Vakyeshu Lakshana Bhaga Lakshana. One has to do a Lakshana, one has to take a secondary meaning. But which Lakshana, that also he mentions, Bhaga Lakshana. And Bhaga Lakshana means this, Bhagatyaga Lakshana means a third type of a secondary meaning in which part of the primary meaning is given up. And then, definitely Aikyam is possible. And that is, so even at not just Prapanchatrayam or Shariratrayam, you have to remove the Chidabhasa also, right? Because Abhas, all this Chidabhasa is also always it's a they call it as a Pratipakshi. Pratipakshi means, basically it is always dependent upon the reflecting medium. And therefore Chidabhasa also should be removed because it is a Mithya. Chaitanya alone is a Satyam. So we can remove the reflecting medium, the Upadhi, Prapanchatrayam or a Shariratrayam along with the Chidabhasa, because that is Mithya. And that is also included in a total meaning of a Jiva or a Ishvara, primary meaning. So Jiva is basically, we can say this Upadhi, reflecting medium, Shariratrayam plus reflection, and then this original consciousness. Here also Prapanchatrayam, then Prapanchatraya, and the reflecting consciousness in that, and original consciousness. So out of that, we remove from both the sides what is Mithya, and which was creating a, basically, due to that, we were not able to equate. So you remove that. So this is how Soyam Devadatta Ityadi Vakyavat, we have seen that Vakya also. By analysis of basically Soyam Devadatta, that's an example. Ityadi Vakyavat, like in a Vakya Soyam Devadatta, we have removed the attributes which are contradictory. And so then only you can say that Devadatta is this Devadatta. Looking at here the attributes of that Devadatta is he a younger one, etc. Of that time and of that place and of that dress and various things of various features. And this Devadatta, of course, you cannot equate. And therefore we have removed the contradictory features from both the sides. That time, that place, and certain features of that Devadatta. We keep a person. So person is one only, so that has to be retained. Then on you can make a Mahavakya, Soyam Devadatta, that Devadatta is this Devadatta, we can definitely say. So anyway, by analysis of this Mahavakya in our case also, we can know Aham Brahmasmi. So whenever I feel uncomfortable, whenever I feel uncomfortable, so we should know that I have not excluded this Shariratrayam. Or I am not comfortable, we can say even I have not excluded Prapanchatrayam also. Because due to some Raga, Dvesha, etc., then I cannot say I am Shuddham Brahma. When you say I am having a certain Raga and Dvesha and therefore I have certain emotional issues and therefore I am very disturbed, then you have kept this Upadhi you have identified with the upadhi called mind, etc., which is a part of a sukshma sharira. So sharira trayam is upadhi, and then reflecting in the association with that upadhi also has to be given up. So this chidabhasa also has to be given up. And that is how reflecting medium plus reflection, both have to be given. Then when you say I am Shuddham Brahma, then in spite of ragadveshas are there. So, and body also has so many limitations, right? Subtle body also has a limitation, gross body has a limitations. In spite of limitations, while you say I am Shuddham Brahma, means I am limitless. So then this is how we have to understand. Mahavakya makes you free from these issues. So Bhagatyaga Lakshana should be applied. Here only in verse 74 we are saying Bhagatyaga Lakshana should be employed in order to equate Mahavakya. Na apara, not any kind of other kind of a Lakshana, because Lakshana is a feminine noun. So he says na apara. So apara Lakshana, well, we should not employ here. Means Jahal Lakshana and Ajahal Lakshana also. Either way, we should not employ here to equate Mahavakya. Verse 75. Samsargo va vishishto va vakyartho natra sammatah akhandaikara sattvena vakyartho vidusham matah. This is a Vakyavritti. This particular verse 75 is in Vakyavritti. He is quoting. Bodily lifting this Vakyavritti shloka, and that is verse 38, means order is not maintained. Verse 44, 45, 46 and 48 in last verse, right? For 74 we quoted verse 48 of Vakyavritti. Now in verse 75 he is quoting verse 38 of a Vakyavritti. So order is not maintained, and this is a little technical verse. This same shloka is there in Vedanta Sara also, and therefore the shloka is interpreted in two different ways actually. So one interpretation is based on Vedanta Sara. It is slightly tougher one, and here other interpretation is relatively simpler, which is taken here itself in a Pancadasi. So, it is from Vakyavritti, but he explained here, and that interpretation is simpler comparatively. So, here it says there are three types of sentences in Sanskritam. We can classify into three types of sentences. First is a Sansargartha Bodhaka Vakyam. Second is a Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakyam. And third is a Akhandartha Bodhaka Vakyam. So, he is explaining these three types of sentences in this verse, and he is telling that Mahavakya fits into one category. Out of these three types of sentences, Mahavakya fits into one particular type of a category and not other two. That's what he is explaining here. So to understand that well, we have to we have to understand this different classification. First is a Samsargartha Bodhaka Vakyam. So let us take a sentence, then we will understand. Like, let us take first example in English itself. Rama goes to the temple by a car. Right? Here, there are, in these sentences, there are different nouns. Rama is there, then temple is there, car is there, all this, different nouns are there in a sentence. They are connected to each other and giving you a complete sense of a sentence, and those relationships are very, very specific. See, first thing is when you construct a sentence, the very important thing is the verb, and all other nouns are connected to the verb. So different nouns are connected to each other, not directly, connected through verb. Like Rama goes to temple by car. So the goes, that's the main thing. Suppose if goes you remove goes. Verb you remove. Rama, temple to car. It doesn't make any sense. So Rama goes, even in just a sentence of 2 words, but still it expects a verb. So Rama goes. And therefore, the Kriya Padam, the verb is very important. It is a center. Then we ask various questions to the verb. Who goes? So you get an agent of an action, right? Rama goes. Rama is a goer. So Rama goes. Now he is connected to the verb. Rama is connected to the verb. I mean, the word Rama is connected to the verb, well, as a agent of an action. We put it in a Prathama Vibhakti. Prathama Vibhakti in Sanskritam, we put, that indicates a agent of an action. We call nominative case also. Okay, that's the thing. Then Rama goes. Where does he go? So Rama goes to temple. It's an object of going. So Rama and temple, Rama Karta, agent. This temple, object. He is a subject, this is an object. But they are not directly connected. Rama temple. No sense, right? So Rama goes to temple. Yeah, that makes sense. So different what I am doing is I am explaining you the first type of a sentence called Samsargartha Bodhaka Vakya. But what is Samsarga? First tell us. Okay, mutual connection. Mutual connection of various words in a sentence. And they all are connected through the verb. And their connection to, well, is specific. So Rama is connected to this particular action, while as agent. Temple is an object of the going action. So anyway, so every word will have a connection, ultimately a little different relation. They are connected to each other differently. And therefore, so just words will not have any connection. Rama, simple. Temple, car. It may have its own meaning, but not this kind of a meaning. When you put in a sentence, they are connected in a specific manner. Those connections are expressed by the prepositions. That I will take another sentence after that, a little longer sentence. There you will be able to understand that. But let us first understand this. The drama, temple, car, all are, the different nouns. Well, they have got a connection. One is a subject, one is object. By car, that's an instrument, right? So, this is how all words are mutually connected in a sentence, well, and giving you a quite intelligible meaning, right? That is, so this Vakyartha, meaning of a sentence, is there by mutual connections of different nouns. This is first. Let us take another example, now a little longer sentence. We add some more nouns. Krishna, I will translate in Sanskritam also. Krishna, because Swamiji, you were talking about Sanskrit sentences and you are giving example of English, but I am not translating. Now I will translate also. Krishna cuts a mango for his son with a knife in a kitchen. Okay? A little longer sentence. Now here there are many nouns. Krishna is there, mango is there, then son is there, knife is there, kitchen is there. So, right? So, various nouns are there. They are connected to each other in a sentence. Sentence is a group of words. When group of words are there, combined together to give you a meaning of a sentence, then their connection must be a specific type through the verb. All are connected through the verb. First, you see here now, cuts. Cuts. Chinatti. Krishna cuts. Because I will have to introduce now Sanskritam. So chinatti, Krishna cuts, agent of action. Krishnaha chinatti, Prathama Vibhakti. It has to be put in Prathama Vibhakti. So Krishnaha chinatti. Okay. What? Object. Object of cutting. Mango. Amram. So Krishnaha amram chinatti. Right? We are making a sentence bigger and bigger now by adding another words. And whatever word comes inside, now the sentence comes with a specific connection. Mango word has entered into the sentence as an object of the kriya, action, cutting. Now, with a knife, word knife is coming. In English, you have to use preposition. Otherwise, you cannot make a sense. Krishna cuts mango knife. No, with a knife. In Sanskritam, we need not put preposition. Preposition is included in a word by a particular case affix. Right? By a particular case affix. So, with a knife, for that instrument, we have a third case. Knife means a churika. They call in Sanskritam churika. So churika is a word and I have to put in a third case. And therefore churikaya. That is how it becomes. You don't bother, but say I have to talk about it. So anyway, so Krishna amram churikaya chinatti. No preposition, right? But the churikaya itself tells you with knife. In English, you have to put two words, knife also and with also. But in Sanskritam, you need not. In churika itself, you put a particular case affix. You get that meaning of a preposition also. Preposition is included. And so, Krishna, cuts mango with a knife. So, Krishna churikaya amram chinatti. Okay. What else? For his son, putraya, for purpose. Purpose is for his son, he is cutting mango. So, Krishnaha amram churikaya putraya chinatti. Now, putraya, putra word for son, but for the son. Now, for the, we don't have in Sanskritam like that, prepositions, different. Fourth case will give that sense. So instead of putraya, when you say, that's it. Putraya. So putraya means for the sake of son. Chinatti. Okay. Still one more is there. In kitchen. So in. Kitchen means pakashala. Now in kitchen in English it is okay, but here that preposition in has to go. And so kitchen pakashala we add seventh case to indicate, to complete the sense of that preposition. In. Pakashalayam. So, Krishnaha amram churikaya putraya pakashala. So, let us put first. Actually, seventh case has to be generally. In Sanskrit, in English also they do. In kitchen they may start. Or let us start. So, pakashalayam Krishnaha amram churikaya putraya chinatti. Clear? Now, all these words, Krishnaha amram churikaya putraya chinatti, all these 5 words are called in a syntactical relationship with each other. So, samsargartha bodhaka vakyam means all words in a sentence are have a mutual connection. Of course, through verb, please remember that. One comes as a subject, other comes as an object, third comes as an instrument, fourth comes as a for the purpose, etc., etc. And the fifth comes as a place where the action takes place, etc. Pakashala. So, all words come in a sentence and give a complete sense of sentence. We call vakyartha. But how do they give? Samsargartha bodhaka. So you get a meaning of the total sentence by mutual connection of varieties of the words. So each contribute to the total meaning of a sentence very specifically, being an object, being subject, being instrument, etc. etc. And therefore, kindly remember this. Here in this sentence, Sanskrit sentence, please understand this. In this Sanskrit sentence, the different words are in Vaiyadhikaranyam, we call. They are not in apposition. What is this? Vaiyadhikaranam means what? That all the words, the meaning of all the words do not indicate a single object. That's it. Right? Now, Krishna indicate Krishna. Now, second word is Amram, definitely different object. Churikaya, that knife, third object. So, here in this sentence, all the words, meaningful word connected to each other, mutually connected to each other through the verb, of course, but they are not in a Samanadhikaranyam. They are not in apposition. Samanadhikaranyam means Samanam Adhikaranam. Adhikaranam means a Vastu, object. And Samanam means Ekam. Not Samanam does not mean same. Samanadhikaranam means they indicate Ek Adhikaranam, one object. And our example we know also, in Taittiriya, Bhashyakara gives an example. Neelam Mahat Sugandhi Utpalam. Anyway, I should not have told you because that is there for the second type of sentence. But in case if you feel a certain obstacle in your mind, so I am telling that. Now see this, Neelam Mahat Sugandhi Utpalam. This is a sentence. So Neelam Mahat Sugandhi Utpalam Bhavati, etc. Well, this sentence has all four words. And all the four words indicating just one object called lotus or a lily. Lily. Utpalam means a lily. So Neelam means a blue. That blue also indicating lily. Here in this sentence, please understand. Blue, just word blue does not indicate a lily all the time. Blue could be this curtain also. But here in this sentence, Neelam Mahat Sugandhi Utpalam, that Neelam, blue, indicates a object, a lily only. Utpalam definitely indicates a lily. Mahat means a big, that also indicates a lily. And Sugandhi means having a fragrance, etc. also indicate the lily. All words describe one object. Even a sentence when all the words described one object. Then we can say all these words, they are in apposition to each other. Apposition is they are in a samanadhikaranyam to each other because they indicate one adhikaranam. Clear? So they are connected to each other. But their connection is of a different type. What is that connection? I will talk to you later. But this is how it is. So basically, but you see now our sentence. And you can very easily make it out. But Swamiji, we were not knowing the meaning of every word. Then how can we say all indicate one object? Need not worry, really. Neelam, Mahat, Sugandhi, Utpalam, all are in Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam. When all are in a Samana Vibhakti, there is likely a chance that all indicating one object. Clear? Okay. So here, now see here, Krishna, Amram, cases different. Krishna is in Prathama Vibhakti and Amram in second place. Churikaya, third case. Putraya, fourth case. Pakashalayam, fifth. So, this samsargartha bodhaka vakyam means where in a sentence, when different words, different nouns, are connected to each other through the verb. I will not say again, but you should understand. They are connected to each other in giving you a complete sense of a sentence, but they are not in a samanadhikaranam. They are not indicating a single object, very clearly understood by a different case, right? All the words are in a different cases. That itself proves they are not indicating one object. whereas in Neelam Mahat Sugandhi Utpalam, Utpalam is in Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam. If Neelam and Mahat and Sugandhi also in a Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam, likely that these three words also are indicating one object. Clear? So simple, very simple. Samanadikaranyam, the sentence in which all the nouns are in a Samanadikaranyam, well, they must be in a same case, affix. I mean, same case. Okay, so this is first type of vakyam. Samsarga means a mutual connection. Samsargartha, so is a meaning through mutual connection. In what? In a sentence. Samsargartha bodhaka vakyam. So bodhaka means it gives his meaning of the sentence through mutual connection, through syntactical relationship, you can say. So, I mean, in a sentence. Now let's go to the second one. What says? Vidyaranya says, Samsargova Vishistova. So another Vakya is a Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakyam. Vishishtartha, Vishishta, you can understand very well. Mutually qualifying. Mutually qualifying. First I said mutually connecting to each other. Karta, karma, etc. etc. They are connecting to each other, being a karta. One says, I have a status of a karta, and I will contribute in a meaning of a sentence, being a karta, prathama vibhakti. I will contribute in a sentence being a karma, object. The third says, I will contribute in a sentence, meaning of the sentence, by being an instrument, right? So that is a samsargartha, by mutually connecting each other. And but here Vishishtartha means mutually qualifying each other. Let us take sentence. This sentence reveals only one substance. There are many. Churika and knife and I'm sorry. So knife and you know the kitchen and what that fruit amram and then sun and Krishna, various nouns. Now this sentence has just one substance. Other are all adjectives. So Dasharatha Putraha Kodandapanihi Sitapatihi Lakshmana Brata Ramaha Agachati. I had told directly in a Sanskrit, but it is simple to understand. That's how, so don't worry about it. So Ramaha Agachati. Rama comes. Okay? Who is that Rama? All other words are telling. That's it. So many nouns are there. But really speaking, substance-wise, only one, that is Rama. Others are all adjectives for the Rama. So Dasharatha Putraha, so he is a son of a Dasharatha. Okay, Kodandapani, who is having in Pani means a hand. Kodandapani, one who in whose hand there is a Kodanda. That's it. Then Sitapati, who is a husband of a Sita. Lakshmana Brata, who is a brother of a Lakshmana. Sache Rama Agachati, comes. Right? So here basically so many, four words are there, but they are all features revealing Rama. So in this sentence, several substances are not involved, right? And they are connected to each other. That is not involved. Like a knife and kitchen and fruit and that sun and Krishna and no. Rama alone is a substance here. Rama Agachati. All other, even though there are many words in a sentence, but all other are just adjectives qualifying Rama. So, and we can put all are in a same case affix, right? Naturally, whatever the case affix of the Rama, whatever the case of a Rama, let us say, that will be the case of all the adjectives. Because adjectives and substantives match each other. And therefore, here, so Dasharatha Putraha Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam. Kodandapanihi Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam. Sitapatihi Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam. Lakshmana Brata Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam. And Rama also Prathama Vibhakti. Rama is a substantive. Substance or substantive. And others are adjectives. So anyway, so this is very different from the first type of sentence. Please understand that. There are all different types of case affixes were there. because different substantives were, different substances were there. Here only Rama. Rama agachyati. All other adjectives of the Rama. So we call it as a Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakyam, naturally, because all other are Visheshana. This sentence has a meaning, meaningful, alright? This meaning of the sentence is Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakyam, in which we can say all four qualify Rama, Rama qualifies them. Yeah, I'm telling you. We feel always like that. These words qualify Rama. No, Rama also qualifies that. Because Lakshmana Bharata could be anybody. Lakshmana Bharata could be Bharata also. Right? So Rama qualifies Lakshmana Bharata, Lakshmana Bharata qualifies Rama. And and Kodanda Pani, well, one whose hand is a Kodanda, etc. So that is how we have to say mutual qualification. Please understand, mutual qualification. Even though we say one is a substantive and others are adjectives, but really speaking, even I tell you, like, see, let us go back to our that Taittiriya example. Neelam Mahat Sugandhi Utpalam. Neelam means blue. So blue lotus, Neelam Utpalam. See, now you will say Utpalam is a substantive, lily, and Neelam is an adjective. And therefore, so this adjective qualifies this lily, blueness. Really speaking, this lily qualifies blueness also. So not any other blueness. Blueness belongs to lotus only. Clear? So lotus is qualified by the blueness, means no other type of lotus, white, etc. As well as blueness also not of a curtain, etc. Blueness belongs to that lotus, that blueness. So blueness is qualified by lotus, lotus is qualified by blue. And so this is called mutual qualification. That's called Vishishtartha. Mutually qualifying each other. First type of meaning of a sentence, we got it from mutual connection. Well, different types of instrument and object and etc. But here, mutually qualifying each other. This meaning of the sentence you will get. So Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakyam. And the major difference between them is here all are indicating one object. Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakyam, and that is Rama. Right? Rama is Adhikaran and Samana Adhikaran. So Kodandapani word, meaning of that also goes to this Rama. Lakshmana Bharata also comes here, and Sita Pati also comes here. Then Dasharatha Putra also comes here, right? And word Rama meaning also comes to that object, that person. So all words basically are in Samana Adhikaranyam, in Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakyam, whereas in the first case, Samsargartha Bodhaka Vakyam, they are not in Samana Adhikaranyam, they are in Vyadhikaranyam. Vyadhikaranyam is they don't indicate one object. Every word in that sentence indicates its own object. Knife indicates its own object, kitchen indicates its own object, and Krishna indicates his own object, Amram, that mango, indicates its own object. And so this is Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakyam. This sentence pleases our Vishishta Advaiti, our dear enemies. So they say whole creation, is one Ishvara with several attributes. All the jivas are attributes of Ishvara. Jagat also is an attribute of Ishvara. So Ishvara includes jiva and Jagat both. And we'll see the fallacy later, but jiva also is real, Jagat is real, and Ishvara also is real. Here itself we will find it differs from Vedanta. Right? We say Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara has a one reality called Brahman. They say Brahman means Narayana, Ishvara, and that is total. And this Jiva and Jagat equally real, like Narayana, they are connected to, they are basically attributes, They are attributes of Narayana. They are non-separate. Any attribute is non-separate from a substantive. Like Neelam Utpalam, blueness and lily you cannot separate, right? So adjective, this attribute, that's an adjective of course, is a part of the substantive. So Jiva is also a part of Ishvara. Narayana, Jagat also is a part of Ishvara. Jiva and Jagat, if they are different, independent, then Ishvara will be a chota entity. That cannot be, right? And so, this is how they like this kind of a Vakya, in which Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakya, in which Jiva is a, Narayana is qualified with Jiva and Jagat. So, and part of that, Anga Angi Sambandha, etc., part whole relationship. Okay, this is this second type of sentences is Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakya. Third type of sentence. And here Acharya says Akhanda Ekarasatvena Vakyartha. Akhandartha Bodhaka Vakya. Here, this third type of sentence reveals essential oneness of seemingly different things or substances, persons, different people, seemingly different entities, seemingly. That's a very important thing. Essentially, they are one. Any Vakya which reveals the oneness of a seemingly different things is called Akhandartha Bodhaka Vakya. Akhanda. So there is no khanda, there are no real two entities. When they say we are equating, means we are telling you that both the sides are essentially one. Apparently, let them look different. Clear? Seemingly different, but essentially one. Then, well, that's called a khanda. Khanda means a part, different entities? No. And they reveal by revealing the oneness. Like our Mahavakya. So, it does not talk about a different attributes of a one substance. Please understand. Yeah, it doesn't talk about a different attributes of one substance like Kodandapani, Sitapati, Dasharatha Putraha, Ramaha. No. There are attributes. Rama is a substantive. They are attributes. They are part of this substantive. Attributes are part of the substantive. Adjectives are non-separate from substantive, etc., etc. Here this is not. Seemingly different things, essentially one, is revealed by a sentence. That sentence is called Akhandarthaka Bodhaka Vakya. And these seemingly differences of different objects are definitely negated and removed, and essential oneness of the substantives is established. So, as in sentence 2, attributes are added, here in sentence 3, attributes are negated. Because you, like our own sentence, you see, Soyam Devadatta, let us take Soyam Devadatta. That is this, that Devadatta is this, right? Then, so when you say that Devadatta is this, means you are equating, then definitely certain attributes are there in that Devadatta and this Devadatta you have to remove, because that Devadatta was younger 30 years ago and this Devadatta is now older. That Devadatta was wearing a different type of dress, suited booted. Now this person is wearing even jabba dhoti. That Devadatta was not having specs and having lot of hair on his head. Now this Devadatta hair has gone and everything. He has specs also. He has become a little bulky also. So many attributes. If you want to equate, then this opposite attributes, young and old, and in terms of complexion also may be different perhaps, whatever, or dress. And that time was different. 30 years ago, he was 27, now he's 57. All this, that place, he was in Delhi. I told you, Swamiji, what example? I have given that example day for yesterday too, and therefore I am talking to you. So he was in Delhi, and this is Bombay. Okay, so all have to remove that time, this time, that place, this place, those attributes, young, etc. Here attributes. If you don't negate attributes, you cannot equate. To equate, attributes are negated. Akhandartha Bodhaka Vakyam negates attribute to equate. Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakyam adds attribute to give a meaning of the sentence. Clear? So this is how it is. Anyway, so this Soyam Devadatta, etc., as I told you, so Saha reveals the person with a younger, etc., etc., and Ayam reveals this person with older, attribute of old age, etc. And Devadatta, just Soyam Devadatta, that Devadatta reveals a person. That is there. In Saha also. That was also a Devadatta, and Ayam. This also is Devadatta. Devadatta, the person is common in both. So retain that. And attributes of the Devadatta remove. Then you are able to equate. Right? So this is how it is to be done. Akhanda Artha Bodhaka Vakya means there is no khanda, there are no different entities, is one entity. So since attributes are removed, what kind of a Devadatta I have to say? Attributes means what? Vishesha. If I remove Vishesha, I have to remove in order to equate because they are opposite. So now that Devadatta is just a person. Nirvishesha Devadatta. Okay. So that is Nirvishesha Devadatta is not there outside. Understand this. Nirvishesha Devadatta is not there. What you are seeing is a certain different attributes. See, because he is now 57 and this time and this place and attributes you are seeing outside. In your mind you have removed attributes. Nirvishesha Devadatta is not seen, is to be understood in an intellect. Okay. So anyway, so Akhandartha Bodhaka Vakyam is also called Nirvishesha Bodhakarthaka Vakyam also, because Vishesha attributes have to be removed. So when these words finally reveal this Nirvishesha Devadatta, Soyam Devadatta, etc. And so no relationship is involved. So no case endings, prepositions. See, let's take the first sentence in which different words are related to each other, right? Through the verb as a karta, as a karma, as an instrument, as a purpose, or as a place of action, right? So here no connection at all. Just no connection. Connection is through attributes. But attributes are not negated, you will not get Akhanda Artha Bodhaka Vakyam. So basically, in fact, all connections have to be removed. Connection of the Devadatta with that place, that time, and those attributes have to be negated. Connection of this Devadatta with this place, this time, and with those attributes also have to be negated. And therefore, this is a different type of sentence. It is not a samsargartha, mutual connection. There is no connection at all. And there is no Visheshanas also. Visheshana also has to be removed. And therefore, this is no case ending, no preposition, nothing. This is Devadatta, right? That is this Devadatta. What are prepositions in this? What prepositions are there? No prepositions. That Devadatta is this Devadatta. When I say, well, definitely I have removed time, place, all attributes, all connections gone. That's how it becomes Nirvishesha. Otherwise, Vishesha will be there, then connection to Vishesha will be there. Vishesha connected to Visheshana. Visheshana, Vishesha Sambandha. So, Visheshana itself are removed, unconnected. Anyway, so this is also Samanadhikaran Vakyam. Please understand. Yeah. Akhandartha Bodhaka Vakyam also having a Samanadhikaranyam. And this Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakyam also is a Samanadhikaranyam. Samsargartha Bodhaka Vakyam is a Vaiyadhikaranyam Vakyam. Habba. So this is... So here, anyway, this is your prarabdha and my prarabdha. That sentence has, this technical thing has come. But anyway, slowly we can understand that, no problem. Atra, see now, see the verse. Atra. Atra means in this Mahavakya. Samsarga means samsargartha, means many substances, where with a different relationships are there. That kind of a samsargartha vakya. Or visheshtartha, or one substance with a different attributes. Well, navakyartha. Atra means in this Mahavakya, there is no samsargartha. There is no samsarga means there is no mutual connection. Or there is no vishishta, there is no mutual qualifying also. Jiva does not qualify. This is by the way. Jiva does not qualify. That's what it is. We make a difference. Anyway, let me talk it a little later. Navakyartha means is not a meaning of a sentence. Atra navakyartha. In this Mahavakya, this is not a Vakyartha. Which is not a Vakyartha? Not a Samsarga, not a Vishishtartha. Not a mutual connection, not a mutual qualification. Na sammata means that is not acceptable. The samsarga or vishishta is not acceptable to us. Why? Akhanda ekarasattvena. Well, akhanda ekarasattvena vakyartha vidusham matah. Vidusham. The wise people, the people who know this Shastra, well, they say akhanda ekarasattvena vakyartha mahavakyartha. Atra means in this Mahavakya, this is the meaning. Akhanda ekarasattvena means what? It reveals one substance without attributes. That's it. It reveals an identity of a seemingly different entities. It reveals oneness of a seemingly different entities. What are those entities? You know very well. Jiva and Ishvara they look different, but they are seemingly different because, well, both are ultimately Chaitanya. One consciousness appears as a Jiva as well as Ishvara through different upadhis. Upadhis are mithya. And so therefore upahita also, in a reflected consciousness, Chidabhasa also is mithya. Only Chaitanya is satyam. So we have to remove. And by removing upadhis, we are removing all attributes also. Upadhis only have attributes. Chaitanya has no attributes. So every time we recognize someone, all this previous experience and present experience, when we always look into that person who is free from this, basically both the types of attributes. So when we equate both, definitely we take a nirvisheshartha. And that is purely cognitive thing. It's a purely cognitive. You are seeing a person outside with a Vishesha. If Vishesha is not there, it doesn't become a object of perception. When anything becomes an object of perception, definitely attributes are there. And therefore, definitely this Nirvishesha Devadatta, we have arrived at in a Soyam Devadatta, is only cognitively. We have removed the attributes. Okay, so Akhanda Ekarasattvena, Vakyartha means Mahavakyartha, Vidusham Matah, is accepted by the wise people. But Vidyaranya does not say why we can't take this 1 and 2. Akhandartha, why you are taking Akhandartha Bodhaka Vakya as a Mahavakya. Mahavakyartha as Akhandartha Bodhaka Vakya. Why you are not taking Samsargartha and Vishishtartha? He doesn't say. We will have to supply. See, the Tattvamasi cannot come under the category of a Samsargartha Bodhaka Vakyam or Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakyam, because first thing is, all words are not in a nominative case. In Mahavakya, any Mahavakya you take, whatever the words are there in Mahavakya, they are all in a Prathama Vibhakti. Prajnanam Brahma Mahavakya, that is all in. Prajnanam also is in Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam, and Brahma also is in Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam. And then Ayam Atma Brahma, Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam, Ayam, right? And so it's also word idam is there, Pullinga. Then the Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam is Ayam. And Atma. Word Atman is there. Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam is Atma. And Brahma Shabda, Brahman word is there. And that is the Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam is Brahman. Brahma. So okay. So Ayam Atma Brahma, our Atharva Veda Vakya, Mandukya. That also is in Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam. And what is that? Tattvamasi. Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam. Tat and Tvam. Asi, of course, is a Kriyapada. And what is left? Tattvamasi, Prajnanam Brahma, and this Ayam Atma Brahma. And Brahmasmi. Well, Aham Brahmasmi. All Maha, that is also Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam. So, in Samsargartha Bodhaka Vakyam, I am giving you a very superficial difference. In Samsargartha Bodhaka Vakyam, all the words are not in Prathama Vibhakti Ekvachanam. Krishnaha, Churikaya, okay, Churikaya, Abram, and Putraya, Pakashalayam, Gacchati. All are in different cases. This is first. Because it's a Vaiyadikaranam Vakyam category. Second is not taken, Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakyam also is not taken because basically it is revealing identity of a Jivatma with the Paramatma. Whereas Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakyam is, well, Jivatma is taken as an attribute of Paramatma. We are not saying, that is called Angangi Sambandha. And it's a very ridiculous also. Very, very ridiculous. When you say Jivatma is an attribute of a Paramatma, what happens, Paramatma is all pervading. Brahman, they say also. Brahman means Paramatma. Narayana, all pervading. And we are part of him. All jivas are part of him. So if we become a part of a all-pervading Bhagavan, all our inferior attributes become a part of Ishvara also. And so every jiva joining Ishvara will make Ishvara Mahasamsari. Because every jiva is a part of Brahman, part of Ishvara. And jiva has a certain inferior attributes. That will be the attributes of a Ishvara also. So I am not able to understand. I will give you example. Like this Pennsylvania state has suppose it has a certain region called desert, let us say. It's not, just think of. Or let's say Arizona, that has, right? Okay, Arizona has a desert. Arizona is a part of the country, USA. So, when in a world they say, when they talk about desert, they say USA also has a desert. USA has a desert or Arizona has a desert? Arizona has a desert. Then why are you calling USA as a desert? USA is a part of USA. Arizona is a part of USA. And therefore, whatever attributes, inferior attributes, suppose, of any state also belong to the whole. That's how it is. And therefore, basically, all the jivas with inferior attributes, if they are part of Ishvara, right, they are attributes of Ishvara, Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakyam, in that case, Ishvara will be a bunch of, Ishvara will be just a Mahasamsari. We are having a little attribute, inferior attributes, little. He has all. So this is ridiculous. And therefore, they say real jiva is connected to real Paramatma in a real sense. They have to say, if jiva is, suppose a mithya, if they say, suppose, and Ishvara is real, in that case, where is the relationship? Where is the relationship? There cannot be a relationship between mithya and the satyam, right? What is the relationship between a rope and a snake? What is the relationship? It's not. Therefore, they have to say jiva is satyam. If you want to prove a relationship of an angangi, part whole, you have to say both are equally real. State also is equally real, and the country also is equally real. Then only part whole relationship is established. If state itself is a mithya, it is not there, and you say it is a part of the country. How it is? It's a foolishness, So, definitely, in a Vishishtadvai, for a Vishishtadvaitin, there is nothing called mithya. Word mithya itself, they have an allergy. Mithya does not exist in them. So, real dukkham of all real jivas, will become a real part of real Ishvara, and that is how Ishvara is a dukhi and dukhi only. And no question of liberation, because all the time jivas are there. Jiva is also anadi. Dukkha is all the time associated to jiva, also anadi, and therefore Ishvara will be dukhi anadi. So there is no question of a liberation at all. So I don't know. So this is how Vishishtartha Bodhaka Vakyam cannot be taken in Mahavakya. This Akhandartha Bodhaka Vakyam reveals a identity. Identity means identity. Not that jiva is non-separate. Somebody says like, jiva is non-separate from Brahman. But Brahman is... no. Why? Why are you saying that? I am getting strength from our Vidyaranya. Vidyaranya is going to tell this in verse 76. Jiva is Brahman, Brahman is Jiva. He is going to tell that. Essentially oneness. Right? And therefore, we'll see that Vakya. He is going to quote verse 39 of Vakya Vritti in verse 76. And he established that basically both are one only. Both are different is a product of ignorance. I am different from Ishvara is product of ignorance. There are two misconceptions he is going to talk about. That I am a finite entity and Ishvara is somewhere sitting. Ishvara is away from me. Both the misconceptions are removed by Mahavakya. You are Ishvara, or you are Paramatma, you are Brahman. Means finitude also has gone, and Parokshatvam of Brahman or Paramatma also has gone. So he's going to talk about that. We'll see that later. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.